let's begin.
Amazing. I love it. Hello! Welcome back to another Knitter Natter. Yay! Oh, these are the best videos. You just get to sit and talk about knitting. It's great. So, you know the setup by now, guys. Grab yourself a brew. I've gone for peach and mango today. Oh, yeah. Nice and fruity. For those who have maybe not watched a Knitter Natter before, I'm just going to be talking about knitting for like half an hour or so. So if that's not your bag, feel free to click on to another video. But for those who have stayed, welcome. I got myself a bag from the charity shop, and I got it because it matched my purse. I do like my gorgeous little old-fashioned purse. So I'm using it to keep my knits in. We're not going to get too cocky too soon, but so far, I mean, we're fudging it a little bit. We're slightly cheating because most of the knitting was done last year. However, the finishing of the garments has been this year. So, you know how I did my goal of 12 garments, 12 months, and it just completely went out the window last year? Well, hey, past Rebecca is being kind to the present. So I have at the moment I've got 3 completed garments. So that's January, February, March. We're not in April yet, are we? No. So we're 3 for 3. Yes, get in there. So the first one you will have seen me in already, and it's this 80s double jumper. I held double knit 2 yarns of, so double. A double knit is an 8-ply yarn, so this is a 16-ply yarn cardigan jumper. Oh dear, Rebecca. I made it out of scraps, quite clearly, and it ate yarn. It ate yarn like crazy. So, yeah, oh my God, it's so warm, guys. You know, at the moment in Blighty, at the moment, it's really nice temperatures during the day, but the moment you lose that sun, it is freezing. It's freezing. We're playing that game at the moment. So we're thankful. We're thankful for the lovely double digits during the days, but we're still getting winter at night. So for sleeping in little Sophie, this is an absolute godsend. Absolute godsend. It took me a couple or so days of just knitting along. It's a very, very simple pattern that even a beginner could do, I think. It knits up really quickly. It's on big needles, so your soul isn't being disheartened if you're a new knitter. But actually, it's just a square for the most part. You just cast on whatever stitches you need for the bottom, do a rib, 1 by 1 rib, and then move on to stockinette. I think they were on 6.5mm needles, and basically just knit a square. There's no armhole shaping. That's why it's great for beginners. So you just knit a square up to the shoulder points, just here, and then just slowly decrease them, and then leave some stitches for your collar that are sort of held either on a spare piece of string or a stitches holder or something, spare needles, and then just pick those stitches up and knit your collar. That's it. And then for the sleeves, I don't think there's any shaping in them. Cast on whatever 1 by 1 rib you need, and just when you've got, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inches, something like that, switch to stockinette and just keep knitting until it's the right length. It's a rectangle meets a square. It's a really simple jumper, but oh my days, has it kept me so warm. For saying it's just acrylic, wow, really, honestly, so comfortable. I'm living in it at the minute. You know, I was living in my granny cardigan, which is now looking rather shabby to say the least. This they're both 80s as well. I find that quite interesting. I like my 80s loose, obviously. So I've learnt that about myself. Let's pop that there. So that's the first one. The second, I love those. Like, let's get my bag of goodies. It's amazing. So, some of you may remember these. I think I've shared them with you. Not quite sure, but we'll roll with it. Anyway, leg warmers. So, I was making these on my week's holiday in Norfolk. That was last year at some point. And I went down to the beach and I took my basket of scrap yarn and my knitting book, and I just sort of knit what I saw around me. The bottom is the general sort of colour that I was getting from the day. These are the grass on the dunes. Some of it is green, some of it is yellowing because it's, you know, it's dying away. So I sort of made that combo. These are the waves, obviously. Pebbles on the beach and blackberries. And then these are like the clouds. So amazing. I have been wearing them. I went to see Jill earlier on in the week and I broke them out there. And they really, really keep your legs warm, you know. They really do. I went to see Jill. We had a chat with her friend Tina over a cup of tea. And, she got a couple of chihuahuas. Oh, they're so cute. That was so cute. I had, I think her name's Tilda, or Tildy. She was on my lap most of the time. Anyway, so, in order to make sure that I didn't run out of yarn, bearing in mind it's a scrap bus project, I would knit. Let's get a ball of yarn to show you. Is this going to work? We'll make it work. So, you've got this yarn that's on the outside, but then there's also a yarn. If you go into the centre and you pull, you've got yarn from that side. So I was basically knitting both at the same time from two separate ends so that I could gauge just how much yarn there was left, so that I didn't get caught short, and therefore they both match. And they don't, I think when you're not sort of hodgepodging it too much. I mean, I love the way my cardigans come out. I love it. But it's quite clearly definitely a scrap job. Whereas these look like they've been made not as a scrap job, they've been made. And it's because you're not struggling with mismatching levels and stuff. So that's how I did it, and I just kind of made it work. So I got the basic leg warmer pattern, like the stitches, from this book, which is what Mummy got me, and I used the Gardener's garter pattern. Now obviously this is gardening, there's your plant pots. So I thought, well, I was knitting what was around me. I was inspired. I was in the moment, guys. Is there anything better than being in the moment and having your pins with something cast on? No. So I knew that in the book there was this sea wave vest, and it just so happened, I think it was over 6 stitches for the sea waves, but also 6 stitches for the plant pots. 5 or 6 stitches, they married the same. So I just made a swap, and it worked. So I'm really chuffed about it. I think they've turned out really, really well. and it's used up a lot more scrap. Yay! I was actually doing really well with my scrap busting, to the point where I got down my yarn near enough that it was just sort of fitting within a very small corner of the room. And amazingly, I mean, you know, I'm very grateful for it, but there's been 3 ladies in the shop where they've donated me no less than 4 bin bags full of yarn. I've got one here right now. This one's come from Leslie. Oh my gosh, there's definitely plans ahead for some of this, especially that one and that one. But I'm loving this colour. It's kind of like a very vibrant teal. I quite like that. It's my kind of colour. I like teal. And then green, of course. And I mean, isn't it colourful? Oh, she's amazing. She's amazing. But all the women, you know, within one weekend, I had maybe about 2.5 bin bags full of yarn come my way. Literally, Saturday and the Sunday, the ladies just brought them in, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's the universe telling me I've got a bit busy throughout the summer. Oh gosh, it's the universe telling me I gotta knit. Woohoo! I mean, I'll do what the universe tells me to do, you know. Let's keep it simple, guys. Just follow the path. So, another pair of socks. See, we don't count socks. Socks and mittens and things, they're not garments really, they're just accessories. I mean, the leg warmers, maybe to a degree, are accessories, but I'm counting them as garments because you do wear them, and it's something I've never made before, whereas these are like 10 a penny. I'm always knitting socks. There's always someone to give a pair of socks to. And then, yes! Roof! Here it is! Yay! Now, this has been on the go for well over a year, hasn't it, chaps? 1.5 years, maybe? Dare we say it? 1.5 years? Because this time last year, I had put it down, and I'd been working on it for 7 or 8 weeks, something like that, because I made the 80s does the 40s vest when I went to Hastings. So I am super duper chuffed with how it has turned out. It's glorious. It's glorious. Some of you may remember I fluffed up. I did absolutely no armhole shaping whatsoever. The neck is crazy ridiculously big, but it's fine. It'll work. Worst comes to the worst, if it looks completely silly on, then I suppose I could put some elastic in, rouge it up a bit, but it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Now, I think I vaguely remember, Betty, you said to only cast on the amount of stitches I needed for this and it'll sort of pull itself together. Now, unfortunately, with having my entire home condensed down into the front room, those of us from Blighty will understand this when I say Kim and Aggie. I could not find the book. Could I at all? No. So I couldn't remember what the needle size was. I couldn't remember how many stitches it needed. You see, this is why I should document all of my making, because then I'd be able to look back at it. No. Anyway, since then I have actually tidied up the room and I've shifted furniture and all that sort of stuff, because, you know, Mum wanted to basically get in there, rightly so, it's her house. Things have been all upheavaled. Many charity shop trips later, and I did actually find the book. Yay! So it's some of you guys will remember this is my favourite knitting patterns book that I've got, and it's just got so many good patterns in, you know. Let's just flip through. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Ah, there we go. Found it. Right, yes, it is a 1952 Fair Isle slipover slash tank top with my creative flair. I used 3mm on the arm, on the neck and armbands, but actually do you know what? Their neckbands don't look too tight, so it'll do. Now, did I use the right needles? No, of course I didn't. No, I didn't. Not at all. Not in the slightest. But anyway, really chuffed with how that has worked out. Yay! I don't think there's much more to say on this one. Other than, if you're ever going to make something 2-ply, strap yourself in, guys, because you're in for the long haul. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so that is the third garment of the year. Woo! Oh my gosh. Amazing, amazing. We are on target, guys. So the next one is currently in progress. It is the Victory jumper, and you can get the pattern from the Victoria and Albert Museum website. I will link it in the description below. It has a lot of 3 sort of 1940s knitting patterns, and one of them is the Victory jumper. Now, I started this when I was in Derbyshire, in the middle of nowhere, and I had a very limited repertoire of yarn available to me. But I thought, actually, I'm going to cast on, and I'll make one that is this, just general everyday wear, and I will be casting on one that is red, white and blue. Absolutely. I just get that song in my head playing the old red, white and blue. Where to begin? Now, I did a swatch for this because the pattern calls for you to use 3-ply. So I was umming and ahhing, what do I do? Do I try and get myself some red, white and blue 4-ply? Do I try and find a local yarn shop that has those particular colours in the particular shades that I like? Or do I knit it in double knit and see how it goes? But basically, the answer came in the form of, I have no more coupons left. We are on the ration for the clothing. I spent them, if you remember, I spent them in Wales on the shooting jacket, the tweed jacket, but then I also bought 3 woolen blankets. You see, I reasoned with it in myself because I mean, in the real world, in the here and now, they were going for a song. And when you are going to be living in Sophie, in a van over winter as best as you can, you need woolen blankets, you know, end of. But the price was a bargain. And you know what I'm like, guys, I can't resist a bargain. When you really need it, it's a bargain. When you don't need it and you're spending money for the sake of it, you're wasting money. You don't need it. You don't need it. But when you do and you see it at a very affordable rate, bargains galore. So yeah, so I have no more coupons left. So that basically meant it muted the point of buying any 4-ply in and maybe doing it sort of trying to get it sort of authentic. Because a 3-ply, it's quite clearly a summer vest. It's like a summer top. And double knit, it's going to get warm in May and June, isn't it? You know. But then I thought, well, VE Day is the 8th of May. Ne'er cast a clout till May be out. So I thought, sod it, we'll see how it turns out. So I did a swatch, and I did it using 2 different types of material. So, I mean, it was whatever I had to hand, you know. So the first one is acrylic, and that's in the blue. And the second is cotton, and that is in the pink. And I wanted to see what the tension was like, what the pattern actually looked like, and make a decision from there. So the original pattern tells you to get 7.5 inches, 7.5 inches, 7.5 stitches to the 1 inch. Now with this, whether it's cotton or acrylic, you're getting 6 stitches to the inch. So I don't think that's far off, to be honest. Now, yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a thick material. Not gonna lie, it's a thick material. But it might be a chilly VE day. Let's hope not. Let's hope it's sunny, shiny, all gorgeous. But it might be a chilly VE day. And I'd like to wear my red, white and blue. But of course you don't have to knit a top. If you don't particularly need a top, you could always knit a victory cushion. Then you've got it with you for life, or a victory scarf, or, you know, just take the pattern and just run with it. For me, I started this version because it was just, I had the yarn and I had itchy fingers, so I just needed to cast on. The pattern itself is a 9-stitch repeat, and it's a knit 2 together, knit 2, yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit 2, slip, knit, pass the slip stitch over, and that makes your 9-stitch repeat. So from my sample, because there is absolutely no way that I could even conceive knitting the original pattern and have it fit, it's not going to happen. The girl wearing it on the picture, she looks about 15 maybe, and she's got a very slight body. And she's also got that nipped in waist that I used to have. I used to have a nipped in waist. Alas, it's gone. Oh dear, those were the days. So what I thought I would do instead, I would just do a box shape, a box top, so that it sort of hangs. Because I mean, I'm all about comfort nowadays, guys. Like, I just am. So I did my tension. So this was 1.5 inches. So I sort of did my measurements and then sort of did a bit of calculating and sort of came up with a number. And I'm winging it. I'm winging it. I think I might do like what I did with the 80s jumper and just do a square and then round off the shoulders. Or maybe I might do a bit of armhole shaping. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But for me personally, I cannot use the correct yarn or ply of yarn. I cannot do the exact size because you only get like one size on the pattern, so you've got to wangle it somehow anyway. So if you're playing fast and loose anyway, it's more to do with carrying the spirit of the thing, I think, than actually making an authentic proper pattern. So leave your answers in the comments, guys. What do you think about the colour scheme? Now I've chosen the pink and the cream because it's quantities, quite frankly. We're scrap busting. But this khaki green, I'm not sure about. And I have found an alternative out of my scrap bag, which is this. So, I'm going to do something very clever here. Balance it on. Oh, is it going to work? No. Anyway, which do we think? Because I don't know if the khaki colour is dragging the top down. Maybe I need to see a little bit more of it. However, so I thought maybe this would complement the pink and, you know, bring it out of itself. But then again, is it too similar in colour to the cream? I don't know. So I'm undecided, and I'd rather rip back now than regret it later on. So what do you think? Do you think the khaki is okay? Or do you think this, I don't know, whatever colour you call that, light green, we'll call it light green, silver green, yeah. So let me know, guys, before I carry on with any more of that. I think they look nice either way, I suppose, but I just wasn't sure about the khaki. Yes. Anyway, so, also, I forgot to tell you, I have a design of the year, my first design of the year. Mr. Rugger used to come into the shop and he really wanted a snazzy hat with a multicoloured pom-pom that was similar in design to my 80s does the 40s vest. So I took the diamond design and the sort of the ziggy-zaggies from my 80s does 40s vest, put that on the hat, did a bit of a funky shaping around the crown, and I did sort of a 2-colour rib, and yeah, let me know what you think, guys. I'm actually quite chuffed with it, really. I am. I'm very proud of myself. I made that, I designed that all by myself. Now, of course, I had to make 1 or 2 failures before finally getting it right, but I got there and really chuffed with myself. Right. Oh, this is lovely now it's cooled down a bit. Oh, this is really nice. Let's take the bag out before it stews. See that? See the waist? It's not holding up too badly. But yeah, I'm just showing you my boobs. I got a new bra. I did have enough coupons for a new bra. So, made in England, and I got it from Sullis Silk or something like that. But it's a very expensive bra for what it is. But my God, it feels lovely on. So, money well spent. TMI. TMI, guys, just TMI. This is what you're here for, isn't it? Right, so as you can clearly see, Rebecca is still in Sophie. I'm so thrilled that I've been able to move back into Sophie. Over winter, I've been with Mother. I've been in the spare room at Mummy's. So, yeah. But it's so nice to be back in Sophie. Now, I was buying a cottage. It seemed like the dream. It was basically in my dream location since, I don't know, since I've been about 5 years old. Never thought I'd be able to afford it or live in that village at all. It's in the middle of gorgeous countryside with historic houses all around in a beautiful village, one of the best villages in the area, like if not the best village in the area. Anyway, so it came on the market, reduced, obviously, it's the only way, and yeah, I managed to have my offer accepted. So we were going through the motions, and unfortunately it's got that many restrictions to it that really all you can do with it is just live in it. But you can't really change it much more than put colour on the walls. So unfortunately I've had to pull out of that one, which was very frustrating because I was all set and ready to sort of be moving in the summer, and yeah, it's not to be. I'm looking at one tomorrow. There's a lot more me. It's right next to the allotments. It's a detached. There's enough room for a couple of chickens, a little somewhere to park Sophie. So I could play my record. I could play my records. I could play my dance it player so loud. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I truly hope that you have got something fabulous in the pipeline, on your pins, on your needles, whatever craft it is you do. And if you do decide to make the VE Day jumper, the victory jumper, let me know and we'll keep in touch with how we're all doing. All in all, have a great day and I'll see you again soon. Love you all. Take care. Bye.